If you're in a relationship with someone that has narcissistic tendencies, you already have the biggest superpower you will ever need to navigate that person. People don't realize it. Now, first, you shouldn't be in a relationship with a narcissistic person in the first place, right? And I always say narcissistic or narcissistic traits and characteristics because we way too often mislabel people and we run to the mountains with someone that is a little self-centered or whatever, and we start throwing the narcissist tag on everybody, right? And so a lot of people misdiagnose their partner in that way, but people can exhibit narcissistic tendencies, right? And someone could really be close to, if not, clinically labeled a narcissist, right? But either way, narcissistic tendencies is the issue we really have and the obstacle we're really facing. But you already have everything you need to navigate that person, which is your boundaries. Your boundaries is the bread and butter, the kryptonite to a narcissistic person's way of operating. It is your safe haven. It is your, hack, if you will, to breaking free of that narcissistic experience. Why? Because someone that has those kind of tendencies does not do well with boundaries. That is the thing that keeps them from doing what they do best when it comes to manipulation and trying to go and control the situation, right? Their whole thing is about control, right? Because, and look, let me say this too, because way too often we demonize people that have, if you are a narcissist, right? You have a condition. It's not, it's like, it's a chemical balance in your mind. You're not of the regular or average sound mind in that way. So we need to stop treating those people like, oh, you're this villain or whatever, right? They have a condition if you really are a clinically labeled narcissist, right? But in any case, all of us are here to be healthy, happy, loving people, right? If you're not being that, it's because there's something unhealthy within you that you struggle with on a deep level. So I say this to say, this is not about you going to go fight this war against this evil narcissist person, but someone that's narcissistic, control and manipulation is their game because they have a huge struggle with self-validation internally. They need to puppeteer and control their external world so that they can feel important internally. That's why someone that has narcissistic tendencies is very self-centered, is very self-serving, is very boisterous to talk about how great they are all the time, bring things back to them all the time, and me, because they're constantly trying to affirm something that they're not really believing internally. They need to go and make sure they have access to you, into your personal things and stuff, so they can manipulate those things to make sure it always keeps them in the mix so that you never ever want to leave them or move away from them. Because if you move away from them, that means they're not worthy of love or whatever, right? Self-love issues. But when you set boundaries, they can't get past those defenses, right? They have to respect a certain line and they struggle with that. Sometimes if you do set your boundaries and stand on them effectively enough, a narcissistic person will leave you, right? Because they can't handle it. They need to be able to manipulate things so they can build a sense of certainty for themselves, right? From the external world, right? So if you're going to navigate this and get out of it the best or work through it the best, right? Because hopefully if you are in a relationship with someone that's narcissistic, if you're going to be there with them, you got to help them to work past their issue, right? Or their thing, or need to walk away, right? So while you're in it though, starting to set those boundaries, create some space so you can breathe and you can think and not have your mind manipulated all the time. Not let them isolate you from friends and family and things like that, because that's what they're big on doing, right? You have to be able to, champion for keeping other positive people in your life that are there to support you and make sure that you're getting a healthy social experience and all that stuff. And they're not, kind of trying to keep you away from everyone so they can keep you to themselves and just make you do everything they want, not try to gaslight you, right, into making you think you're crazy about the things you believe and all that stuff, to where you always believe in what they want, what they think, so they can always navigate and control the situation so they can feel safe for themselves, right? Boundaries helps you keep that from happening. But here's the thing. And that's why I always stress when I talked about boundaries in other videos, right? When you set healthy boundaries, they're not just for you, they're for the other person. So if you set your boundaries in a healthy way, you're also helping your partner if they do have narcissistic tendencies, because it's good for them, because now they have to face parts of themselves that they avoid by controlling things. So they have to learn to build their own sense of self-validation internally on their own and not have to puppeteer things to feel that sense of love for themselves and feel like they are worthy of love. So stop being a victim of someone with narcissistic tendencies and start being a survivor, if anything, right? Turn the table around so that you can have a healthy experience and you can help them start to learn to do the same. And if they're not willing to do that, then they're probably going to leave on their own or you got to go. Either way, don't sit for toxicity and never sit to be manipulated by someone with narcissistic ways. Let's get it.